Barkevisser, the modern day mystic, as she helps you find your personal intuitive uniqueness and universal alignment for a more meaningful life. You're listening to The Modern Day Mystic with your host, Cynthia Barkevisser.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. This is Cynthia Barkevisser, your modern day mystic. And today I thought it would be really fun to talk about how small steps can lead to big changes. I got this topic from readings that I was doing over the weekend, and it seemed to be the same topic. And it actually, believe it or not, it falls in line with spring cleaning and getting things cleared up and cleared out. So what I found with a lot of the people that I had readings with is that I won't say that there was a feeling of hopelessness, but there was this huge feeling of being overwhelmed and saying there are so many things. And the beauty of being on the other side of the desk, so to speak, is that I get to look at their stuff and say, oh my gosh, you're so close. There's so many things that you got going well for you, and you only have these two tiny things to focus on. And then from doing those two tiny things, the big shift is going to happen, and you're going to see. It's almost as if I love roller coasters. So my favorite part, especially if I'm in the way back, is not looking at the front of the roller coaster, but the middle of the roller coaster. And if I'm in the way back and I'm waiting and I'm hearing the click, 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 it shows you how old I am. The click, 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 click. And it's the very last where you see it's that the front of the roller coaster is going down the hill and you're about ready to get whipped down the hill. That's pretty much, and then that's where all the fun begins. That's where I feel a lot of us are. There's the 2 or 3 clicks away from that place where you can't see where you're going, but you know there's something out there. Do you trust that there's going to be something to carry you down? Are you being guided down? Is it going to be safe? Or are you just going to, wait forever for those last couple clicks and then, the ride's going to bust? I'm happy to tell you that the rides that I've been on have never busted, and the roller coasters are amazing metaphor, and I believe in this spring cleaning here in 2016 is where most of us are. So I'll give you an example, a story. He's one of my favorite people, and I apologize if he's listening, but because I hadn't told him I was going to share this story, but he's in such an amazing place, and it was exciting to see him in this place, and it was almost a little odd for me to see him feeling overwhelmed. So the person that I'm talking about is one of my favorites. His name is Aaron, and he says, hey, I'm just overwhelmed. I really don't know what I'm doing. I feel like there's going to be a change going on, just not sure. And I could see that he's well lined up. He's facing the right direction. He's gathering all the tools that he needs. He's getting ready to step off. And that the things that he's looking at, of course, they're really huge, but it's not as if he's walking into a huge situation. He's in a place where he's been looking at this situation for such a long time from so many different angles that it feels like it's big. So think about this. Think about that you are walking around a 9-foot radius pond, and you're so focused on how deep the pond is and what is in the pond that as you're circling around, it feels like it's a huge pond. But if you back up just a little bit, you're going to say, "Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful small pond, and it's part of a really big setting, and we can go ahead and shift it up in a certain way." So what happened was that his two issues is that he needed to do a little bit of reconciliation with, I still have stuff to deal with my folks. And I said, it comes down to 5 words. And the words are that it's thank you and I love you. And it shifted him up. 5 words shifted him up to 2 people. So it was really interesting. And then the second part was, whoo, that sounds like it's really tough. And I'm not going to say it's tough. What I'm saying is that the last 2 clicks on your roller coaster ride are simple. They're there. They're inevitable. It's up to you to decide how it's going to look, right? Are you going to be, one of those people that before you get to down the first hill that you're going to hate the roller coaster ride? You could be. I mean, it's happened to some people, or you're just going to kind of relax and let it go and see what happens. So I'm really curious to see how he's going to do in this next little piece of his life as part of his spring cleaning. So I just wanted to remind you, as I jumped into my little topic, that I am giving readings out, one question readings out for this show. Please feel free to call in. I would love to work with you. All you need to do is dial 657-383-0608. Press 1 if you'd like to talk with me. If not, just hang in the chat room, chat with Tana, producer extraordinaire, and you can ask a question straight from the chat room. I'm happy to help you out that way. So before I continue on with my story, I would love to, I already have a caller. I would love to talk with her. Her name is Annette from Massachusetts, and I would love to speak with Annette. Are you there?
Hi,
how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. I love Massachusetts.
Good.
Fantastic place.
Yes, it is. Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Amazing.
Yes, it is. It's my love.
I can see why. It's a beautiful place. I was really lucky. I've in the past I've only gone during the springtime, so it's not at its best. But
yes.
but I do see the promise and the love, and saw a lot of what are those? Are they cranberries? What are they? The bogs?
Yes, cranberry.
Bogs,
yes,
right?
yes.
Oh, I've seen the bogs.
Yes.
Yeah, and until my daughter finally graduated from Northeastern, so I finally got to see Boston in April. It was fantastic. Or May.
Yes, it is. It is.
Wow.
I love Boston. Love it. Love it. Love it.
I do too. So, and then I get to go to the Cape every once in a while, but again, never in the summertime.
Nice.
Yeah, I've always gone in the winter. Long story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually have I do martial arts, and the head studio is in Orleans, and so we go there. We go there fairly often, mostly for where all schools go and train. So it's a lot of yeah. But that's enough about me. I'm sure that's not why you called in. How can I help you? What's going on?
Well, I feel like I'm definitely going through some changes in my life, and one of them is standing in my truth.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also other changes that I would like to make this year. One of them is to change jobs. Mm-hmm. And the second one would be to find another living
situation.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes.
I can see that. Okay. Well, let's do this like a timeline, shall we?
Okay. Sure. Absolutely.
Right. You are an incredibly lovely lady. I mean, it's incredibly lovely.
Oh.
You have so much to give. You have a lot of information that is meant to be shared, so it's time to share it. The thing that's been happening is that you've been sharing it a little bit too freely, so people don't listen in a certain way, and then you feel like, hey, I'm over here talking, and it's all good stuff, right?
Right.
And then they come in and they complain about the stuff that you just talked about. I mean, it's just crazy how it works for you. The other thing that's happening is that you've been wanting to give so much that you actually don't let the giving flow. And what that means is that sometimes you're out on the lookout just to give instead of just having a day, and then as something arises that the giving happens. And believe it or not, that actually stops the flow of giving and the flow of the giving, receiving, exchange, and intuition and all that other good stuff. So the last thing I want to tell you is that you've been going through so many changes in the past year, and I hear that one of them has been kind of rock hard, and it really didn't have anything to do with you, but you were in the receiving end of it, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yes.
And that of course you're like chomping at the bit to change so that you can feel like you're in control of something, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So so now that we've got your scenario, here's what I've got. As you're incredibly lovely, there is a part of you that has not yet fully incorporated your spiritual self and your intuitive self with your practical self. And so what that means is, in easy speak, is that you are not walking your talk, my friend, right? Okay. So if you're telling your friends, hey, go relax, take some time off, really you're talking to yourself, hey, relax, go take some time off.
Right.
All right?
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, are you getting it now with the walk your talk type of thing? So, so this is a great time for you to start practicing walk your talk. So anytime that you're going to, and this is a twofold thing, because what it'll do is it'll slow you down from giving wisdom to people who haven't asked yet. Right? And then the second is that every time you give a piece of wisdom, you have to act upon it as well. Okay? Now,
and that's what I tell people. I'm like, what I tell you, if I haven't done this and I haven't experienced it, I can't speak about it.
Well, it's true and it's not true, because you have to remember that you have lived more than one lifetime, at least in my philosophy, okay?
Yes,
and so you have experienced this before. It just hasn't been experienced in this lifetime, which means it has a different energy to it.
Right.
I've done medium work. That doesn't mean that I have personal experience on death, but I can help to a certain extent, right? And then, when you're ready to channel and I've already passed away, I'll come down and say, hey, this is what it's really like. Right?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Okay, so you're more than welcome to go ahead and give that information, but then really listen and say, okay, now I'm not going to give I'm not going to give out any more information until I practice this. So that I walked my talk. Then what happens? Watch what happens when you talk the next time. What will happen is that because you have a direct physical experience, the energy changes and people will listen to you. And that's the beauty, because that's really what you're looking for right now. You're looking for acknowledgement in a certain way. So because this is the important thing for you, my suggestion is to hold off on the work and to hold off on the place to stay just for a little bit, and just focus on you. Okay? Because if you focus on if you focus on moving, then you don't get to focus on you. If you focus on your other job, you're not going to focus on you. You're really lucky that you have a job that you don't have to worry about any of this stuff, and then you can just focus on you, right? And then I would give yourself till August, not even that long, to practice this. And once that happens, what will happen is that things will shift up, and the job will open up in either a different job or a different opening within your current company will shift up, and then you can just move smoothly in instead of fighting.
See, I'm not interested in moving up in the company. I'm interested in moving out of the company.
Then move out of the company, but don't be surprised if something opens up and there's outreach, and then all of a sudden you're like, that's not a bad thing to explore. So there is an opportunity for something like that to happen.
Okay, I'm definitely open to it, but I want to make sure that I'm not closed down to when it does open. You'd be like, no, that's not for me.
Well, here's the thing. I understand where you're coming from, and that's a huge fear of mine too, right? For me, it's kind of like a party thing. It's like, oh my gosh, if I do this, then I might miss out on this really great adventure.
Right.
So it's like, it's not a party thing. I'm not a party girl, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I do.
So to take it back to you is, if you focus on you and do this little bit of practice, you're not going to miss out on anything, because you're so wanting to change things up and get back into control the way that you like to be in control, that you're just going to walk into a similar situation, different job, different look, same energy. Right?
Yep.
So if you shift up your energy, then what will happen is that the energy of the new job will come up, or the new position within your old job. And there really is. I mean, it's a really kind of a weird thing. It's almost as if, I won't say a new department, but like a new position is created, and you're going to hear it in a not direct way. And you're like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting. Let me just do it. What the heck? And then I would recommend that it goes, just as you said, first work and then home. First work and then home, okay? Because what's happening is that you're going to work on you, then you're going to work on symbolically the ego, which is your work, right? A professional representative of you, and then you take all of you and you make a new home, and then you can stay there for a really long time. Make sense?
It does. Yeah.
I promise. Just two little things, And those two little things will make the big changes for you. So it's, and actually it's one thing, which is to walk your talk, and not to provide the service that you so willingly provide, which is sharing your wisdom, until you've practiced that one thing. And you can go ahead and just be mindful of that, whatever that practice is, for one day, and then you can share some more. But it would be, that's all you need to do is just go, okay, so here's my piece of wisdom. Now I got to work on it myself.
Right.
So walk your talk.
But that doesn't mean that I don't always walk my talk.
Oh, of course not. Of course you walk your talk. But I will tell you, you're at a point right now where it's time to walk your talk in a different way. That's all. You've heard that story about the teacher. I know that I'm talking, chat with you for a really long time, and I apologize if you're getting bored. But
me? No.
Yeah. So there's a story. I'll paraphrase it. There's a story that there was this guru that was traveling through and giving sage advice as well as healing. This woman decides that she is going to travel because she's having problems with her son. So she travels to the town of the guru, and she waits in line for 2 days. At the end of the 2 days, she finally gets her turn, and he says, how may I help you? And she says, my son is crazy, and he's crazy because he eats so much sugar. And the guru sits for one moment. Do you know this story?
No, I've never heard it before.
Okay. So then the guru says, come back in 3 weeks. So feeling really better, the woman travels back 2 days, waits her time, takes her son with her, travels the 2 days back, gets back in line, waits another 2 days, and finally gets to the guru, and she's so excited because she can't wait to heal her son. And she says, do you remember me? I'm the woman whose son goes crazy because he eats too much sugar. So the guru, she goes, please heal him. So the guru looks at the son, and straight in his eyes, he looks at the boy and says, stop eating sugar. And the woman is livid. She can't believe she traveled all this way for that kind of crap, right? And she's like, what the heck? She says, why? Why couldn't you just told me to tell him? And the guru says, 3 weeks ago I was eating sugar.
Oh.
Got it? It's a great story. That's a different version of walk your talk.
Oh. So he couldn't tell her because he was eating sugar too.
Exactly.
It's like, you can't, it's like if you can't offer the advice and the help if you're part of the problem.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. The way I like to look at it is, you have sage wisdom, and it's true and it's valid, but if you go and experience it and say it again, it carries a different energy. It's a stronger energy, because not only now do you have wisdom, but you have the experience to back it.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Talk to a fighter about fighting,
right.
and they'll tell you don't fight. Right? And then they'll tell you the experience why. So, and just so you know, I'm not going to tell you not to eat sugar.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Because with me, I'm the type of person. Give it to me straight. I'm just. I can understand it when it comes to me straight. And it's like when you water it down and convolute it and make it so that I could swallow it. You got to give it to me straight, and just like, you know what, you need to practice the same crap.
Yeah. Exactly. So here's the deal. The deal is, and trust me, I'm the person for you. I always tell people I am probably the meanest reader you'll ever have. I am, I will say, one time one person sat down, and this is not her first reading, just so you know. We sat down. I said, hey, how you doing? She goes, great. I need a reading. I got in her energy. I go, what the F are you doing? Do you see what I'm saying? And then, and it stopped her. And I only use the F word when it is appropriate to shock you into.
Right.
I mean, I like saying it, but just so you know. So, but it is true. You're right. It's. I don't like saying practice what you preach, because preach has a bad, not bad, but it doesn't feel right for me. So I like walk your talk.
Yes.
Right. So you send the talking, I'll do the walking. Walk your talk. All right.
Amen, girl. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Many blessings to you.
Oh, many blessings to you as well. Thank you so much for calling.
All right, honey. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. I have another caller. His name is Austin, and he's over in my hood somewhere in California, and I would love to talk to him just to see what he's up to. So, Austin, are you out there?
I am. How's it going?
Going well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Great. What part of California are you in?
San Diego.
San Diego. Oh, my gosh. I love San Diego. I'm up here in Oakland, so it's we've got a little bit of a stretch between of us.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
A little funnier.
Yeah. All right. So here it is. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon, and you are listening to, Angel Heart for You radio channel. And what's on your mind?
Well, I do acting as a second career.
Uh-huh.
And my goal would be to have that be my main career.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just kind of curious. Part of me, I've kind of had a taste of hike, and I guess part of me is hesitant to go full blast just because it's kind of weird when people lays you out in public, but I don't know. I'm trying to remove the blocks that are keeping me from being successful.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. So here's the thing that I'm hearing, which is you have this desire, and so let me kind of break it down in a little different way. Those who like to act, and I'm the same because I love being out in public, is they love the acknowledgement, they love the sharing and the back and forth that you get, right? So there's a form of celebrity. But at the same time, you want to maintain your privacy. So there's a part of you that's saying, who am I? Am I right in what you're saying, which is, hey, I want to be out there, but I don't want to be out there because I don't want people to see me. So I want to be seen, but I don't want to be seen. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure this is where we are. So
I want to be seen on TV. But it's weird when I go to a restaurant and somebody says, hey, aren't you on that one show?
Right. Well, you know what? Yeah, well, the thing is that I would have you do a couple of things. One is that you can have a lovely private life, but what it takes energetic integrity. What that means is that when you go out, you go out and you energetically you say, all right, this is my private bubble, and my private bubble is going to be 10 feet in either direction, so people can see me if they want to, but because it's 10 feet away, no one's going to come and interrupt my privacy, my moment, right? My time to be out and about just being me, okay? And there are classes on how to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if you already have something similar to that when you go to your acting classes. You know how you maintain that energetic integrity? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Okay, so once you do that and you get really proficient at it, you will be able to walk with minimal amount of interruption. Just so you know, okay? That can happen, and it has happened for a lot of people, not to a lot of people, but for a lot of people. The other thing though is that you have a really funny on-off switch, and so it's if people don't see you, then you turn on the switch like, hey, I really need to be acknowledged because I like that exchange, and then all of a sudden it switches back off. So what's happening is that you're giving the universe a mixed message, and you're also giving yourself a mixed message because you can't seem to go, all right, you know what, I'm going to go out and it's going to be quiet time. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Okay. So the way I look at it is sometimes you're having a great time and you're having a moment, and then, everybody likes to be validated for their work, and for you, that includes recognition of the audience. And so, if you have a moment of feeling, insecure, then what happens is that the switch goes on, and then you attract the people to you. Okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right.
Makes sense, yes.
Okay, so there are two things that you're going to want to do. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a conversation with yourself, which is, hey, it's okay that I want recognition, and it's okay that I want to have my privacy, and then just really get clear about what it is that you want to do that. Okay. And before I go on, I need to. I was just asked to remind people that they can call in just like you did, and all they have to do is dial in at 657-383-0608 and press 1 if they want to talk with me. So now that I've done my housekeeping, I can get back to you. All right. So okay. So does that make sense when I'm talking about where you now you have to have integrity of your on-off switch button of recognition. Okay. And then once that happens, believe it or not, it's going to clean you up for when you act, and it's going to clean you up for when you go out. When you act, then because you've made this agreement with yourself, there will be so much less fear and so much more clarity in wanting to get that work done, that you're going to find that you're going to be in bigger and bigger roles as you see fit. And the thing is that the nice thing is that you can use discretion, and that you want to use discretion in the roles that you play. Okay, so enjoy that part. The other part is, and that also takes with you that piece of I need recognition, but I want recognition, but I also want recognition for this type or style of work. The second part is that once you make that connection with yourself, like private time, public time, then you can go out and say, you know what, before I walk out the house, I'm willing to talk with people. I'm feeling social. I'm willing to talk with people, and just know that throughout your day you're going to have people recognize you, and you're going to have a lovely chat with people who adore your work. I mean, that's not a bad thing, right?
Right.
And that's really what you're going to want. So it's simple. It sounds a little bit what's the word? Where it's a little bit hazy, but it's really just you having a talk with yourself, saying, I do have two sides to this recognition thing, and I'm going to acknowledge when it's time for the switch to go on, and to acknowledge when the switch to goes off. And it's okay if I want to be acknowledged out in public, even if are you single?
No.
Okay, so even if I'm with my person, then it's okay to be acknowledged. That's the way I would say it. And then just remind your person, right? Which is, hey, I may get interrupted. I hope you don't mind. And then if your person says yes, then go back in, make a commitment to your person. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have that. You have that thing. But I would recommend, if you don't have those, and if you haven't already gotten something similar in classes, to find someone that does meditation, intuitive classes, to do the energetic boundaries. It's actually called a boundaries class, and it's very simple. It just takes practice.
Makes
perfect
sense. Yes. Yep.
Okay. And please, if you haven't found anybody or you need more information on it, check me out through my either through my website or through Facebook, and just message me, or get on the post and say, hey, I haven't found that person, and I'm happy to help you find someone. Our network of people is huge, and at the end of the day, we readers just want to help people. So if you can't find it on your own, let me know. And just look at me on Facebook through Cynthia Varkavas or Modern Day Mystic. Okay?
Okay. Awesome.
Right.
I'll check it out. Thank you.
All right. That'd be great. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. And have a really, really good week. Okay? All right. So, please, I would love to talk with more people. Just dial in 657-383-0608 and press 1 if you want to talk with me. I see that I have another caller. It's Lisa from Connecticut. Lisa, can I help you out?
Hi, I hope so. I am in a loveless marriage, and my only child has left with a woman for 2.5 years now that doesn't allow him to see us. They're actually married and having a baby, and I am not supposed to have any knowledge of this, and I just am so broken, I don't know what to do anymore.
I'm really sorry. What I'm hearing is that you're, this is probably the loneliest you've ever felt, right?
Yes.
Yes, I'm really sorry about that. So here's what we can do. What we can do is we can talk about you, because we can work with and clear up and get the energy moving again, so that you can attract to you the energy that you need. I cannot guarantee that it's going to be your son. Can I get your son's name really quick?
Roberto.
And his age?
31.
And his birth month?
8 August.
Okay, so here's the deal with Roberto. I really like him. He's actually going through this really big shift, a similar shift that you're going through, which is, hey, what's the bigger picture here? And for his bigger picture, he's trying to figure out what's it like. I have to tell you that his idea of family and the way that he experienced family, two very distinct pictures. And so he is in a place right now where he wants to see what his ideal family situation looks like. And the funny part about it is that his idea of what an ideal family is like is already tainted because he has not put his wife's energy into account. So he's going through some stuff as well. And the reason I'm telling you this is that because he's in a place where he's trying to figure things out, his focus is not on you. So because his focus is not on you, I can understand why now there's an even bigger stretch into feeling the connection with your son. So it's not you. He's on the focus of something else, right? The relationship that you're in right now, what I'd like to talk about is that you've been focusing not on yourself, and so your husband, you haven't been focusing on yourself, so your husband doesn't know what to hold on to in order to make some kind of connection. And then because you haven't been focusing on yourself, you haven't had the vocabulary yet. Excuse me for the cough. This is how I know about your throat chakra, is that you haven't given him the what for on what it is that you need in your relationship. That is not it is a very simple task. It is not something that can be done in one day. So you have to be really, really kind to yourself and take.
I really have told him what I need. I've been telling him for 25 years. I told
what
him.
What have you been telling? Okay, so
taking all the love from me and not putting any back, and he just looks at me and goes outside or goes in the garage or goes for a ride. He doesn't ever talk to me. No communication.
Okay, so I can tell you, I'm going to work on with you, okay? And the reason I say that is because, believe it or not, the way you shift your energy is going to shift his energy, and then you get to decide what you want the next phase of your life to be. Because right now, you're stuck, right? You're stuck because you don't feel like you can go anywhere, but at the same time, you don't feel like you move with your relationship as well. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
Okay, great. So here's what I'd like you to do. My understanding is that your focus is not on you. So let me ask you, tell me 3 things that you love to do.
Sew and read and garden.
I'm sorry, sew and read and garden?
Mhm.
Okay, so here's the deal. All those things they're lovely, they're quiet, and they're introspective, and it doesn't give you a whole lot to go outside in order to share with other people to do this. So my question is, do you belong to any kind of quilting groups, sewing circles, book clubs, gardening clubs?
I have 6 autoimmune diseases, and my whole social life is going to the doctor, and that's the only way I get out of the house.
All right. So if you can find a way to do online book club or do meet up, do you see what I'm saying? You don't have to leave the house, but to have some kind of outside interaction, what will happen is it's going to shift you up. Once that shifts you up, you'll be able to share in a way that you haven't been able to share in a very long time. You need that outside contact that doesn't have to do with your health, and I'm really sorry that you're going through the health issues that you're going through, but this connection is really important. So I highly encourage you to find these things, and you can do it, like I said, do it online, via Skype, all these things, so that you can make connections on the outside. Then what will happen is that your communication will change, your energy will change, and then you'll be ready for the next piece of your life. And believe it or not, I wouldn't be surprised if you find a way to make a life that is a little bit unconventional and still within this relationship, because this relationship serves a logistical and practical purpose. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to have love. That make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I need to take a commercial break, so please feel free to call back, get onto my Facebook if you need some clarification, or listen to this blog if you feel like you're missing a piece. So I am going to go ahead and ask Tana to take me out, and I will see you on the other side. Thank you.
Experience the magic of Angel Heart for You, nestled in the heart of beautiful downtown Benicia, California. Embrace the aroma of scented candles, essential oils, incense, and aromatherapy products as you wander the aisles of inspirational and metaphysical books and gifts. Enjoy the positive energy vibrating in this historical site where the well-known author Jack London was once a frequent visitor. If you're in need of a smile or a hug, Angel Heart for You is the place to visit. Do you have an intention or a wish to manifest? Experience the magic of our intention tree. Email us at angelheartforyourradiochannel@gmail.com and be included in our sacred intention tree ritual. Just write us your intention and we'll offer it up in fire along with those left in our store. Then offer them again to the beach and water in Benicia. May angels be with you in all your comings and goings. Love, Angel Heart for You. Join us for the experience of a lifetime. Sacred Connections Sedona Retreats invites you to a powerful 3-day retreat in the beauty of the high desert. People travel from all over the world just to experience the healing vortexes in Sedona, Arizona. Through a series of mindful meditations and spiritual activities amongst the Red Rocks, let the land call you home to your higher self and source. Surrender, transform, Sedona. Sacred Connections Sedona Retreat is hosted by Angel Heart for You radio hosts Tana Newberry and Linda Grindell. Learn more at www.sacredconnectionssedona.com.
Hi, we're back. This is Cynthia Varkevisser, your modern day mystic, and we are talking about how small steps can make big changes. I am taking calls and questions. I'm happy to do readings. All you have to do is dial in 657-383-0608 and press 1 if you want to talk with me. Or you can do like Lexi did and put something into the chat room, and then I can take it that way. So, Lexi, I see that you have a question in the chat room, and it's about what can you do to be going in your career. So here's what I have to say. You're a lovely person. You tend to run a little bit anxious, and because you run a little bit anxious, it's much easier for you to do and ask, what can I do, than just to sit back and breathe and receive. There are actually energies. I'm not going to say that there are people that you know, but there are energies that are wanting to come in and let you receive, so that you can go ahead and make your steps much more naturally. So what that means is, when I say energies, is that it could be a very simple conversation with a stranger that you have that brings a cue that goes, oh my gosh, I need to go to this store, or I need to go to this company, or I need to take this class. It's those really small shifts. You're not that far away, but there's a thing about you just relaxing and just listening. This part of being a mystic. The reason I like saying the word mystic is that I believe that everything talks to us, everything all the time, and it's up to us to decide when we want to listen and what we want to listen to. So the universe is actually saying, "Hey, just sit back, receive, and we can go ahead and start planting little signals along the way. And all you have to do is just follow the signals." It's really kind of cool. And for you, they're like little neon bulbs. So just sit back, relax, listen, pay attention, and enjoy the chit chat, because it's actually the chit chat and really minor step that's going to lead you from one part to the next part. All right. So I see that people are asking for my website. My website is moderndaymistic.com, modernday-mystic. And you're more than welcome to go there. You can see what kind of classes I do. I do classes every Thursday. It's in Berkeley. So much fun. We're actually talking about stuff, which is the same thing that we're talking about here. And how emotional, energetic, and physical clutter keeps us foggy, and how to clean it up. So again, feel free to find me on Facebook, or which is Cynthia Varkevisser, Modern Day Mystic, or go to moderndaymystic.com. I do have a couple more callers, but you're also more than welcome to call me as well, 657-383-0608, and press 1. So I would like to, Trish, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much. How's it going over there in Connecticut?
Well, it started off snowing, and right now it's a beautiful sunny day, so I cannot complain.
Oh my gosh, lucky you. I don't even know what we got going on. It's California, so usually if it's not sunny, we're confused. So
or there's a fire.
Yeah, exactly. So right. Thank goodness I'm knocking on wood. How can I help you today?
Well, I'm considering getting back together with someone, and I was wondering if you could pick up any energy around that.
Can I get that person's name?
Sure, Michael.
So here's the deal. The answer is, you're more than welcome to go ahead and go into this relationship and check it out. You're in a really solid place in which that you're pretty sure of yourself. Like, you're not going to get burned. You're not going to, you know the signals. You're right. So don't second guess yourself. You're actually doing really well. The thing about Michael is that he believes, this is so strange, he believes 70% of what he says. So what that means is that he kind of is one of those guys that aim high and don't always make the mark. Does that make sense when I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can live with that, he really believes himself when he says he's going to do something, and that he keeps falling short, and you can love him for that, then it's going to be fine. So the thing with you is that you really want him to be a success, and so you push your energy towards him, and it's like putting it into, I won't call it a bottomless pit, but it's almost as if it just goes out, and then it just the energy just kind of eddies away. So this is something that's karmic for him. He has a thing about success, and he has a thing about commitment. And it's not about commitment to people, it's about commitment to himself. Make sense when I say that? So
yeah.
if you can do those things, I say go for it, because you're on track for yourself, which is a great thing.
Well, I guess my question then is, it hasn't happened yet. I was more looking like, do you see it actually happening? Because I'm not sure it's all up to me.
Well, it's not all up to you, but what I would say is this. So you guys are talking though, right? And he's doing
just started.
Yeah, and he's doing woulda, shoulda, couldas, and kind of doing the plans type of thing? Like he's throwing out lines?
No, not throwing out lines. More still talking kind of the same way we were before, compromise, but could have done things differently in terms of communication.
Yeah, so it's what we call, one of my favorite people used to say, crying your shoulda, woulda, couldas. And I used to get so upset every time they'd say that, but it's the truth. That's what you're doing. You're crying your woulda, shoulda, couldas. So everything that he says, you have to take to the 70% mark. So although what he's saying is absolutely sincere, just know that if he's at a place right now where he can't talk himself into it, because he knows that he's deep down he knows he's that C plus guy, and that he could be an A guy, but he doesn't believe in himself, and so he stays at C plus. Do you see what I'm saying when I mean it like that? So he hasn't talked himself in, and he has a commitment thing, and it's about committing to himself, not to you. So he doesn't want to lie to you, but at the same time he's trying to make sure that he's being honest with himself as the best of his ability. So I would almost call him wishy-washy, but he's got more conviction than someone that's wishy-washy. He just doesn't have the follow-through of someone that's not wishy-washy. Make sense? So, yeah. I like him. He's a sweet guy. He has big ideas. And if he had an amazing assistant in life, and that's not you, I just want to be really clear, that is so not you, that he could actually boost himself very quickly. But he's just not feeling it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your insight.
Yeah. Good luck with that. And like I said, if you can handle that one piece, you're golden.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Good luck. Thanks. All right. Let's see. I have a chat question. Actually, let's do this. Let me do this really quick chat question, and then we can go ahead and go to one more caller. So let's see. This chat room question says, what can I do to make my relationship even better? So I'm going into your energy right now, and I can feel that there is a part of you that's really wanting to expand, that your chest chakra and your throat chakra are a little bit tight. And what that means to me is that the desire for expression is huge, but the actual practice of expression is not matching. And so what that means is that there's a part of you that really needs to start taking risks and start expressing yourself in a different way. Because you are a talker, what that means is that your expressions are going to need to be more of, like the previous caller, of walk your talk. Your walk your talk would be, and you're thoughtful. So, but it stays in the thought process. So whatever you're thinking, then go ahead and follow up and do. And what that does is that it will bring about a different dimension into your relationship. And it doesn't matter about the other person, I'm sorry to say, because it's really about you making yourself better, which opens up the eyes to your partner in a different way. And once that happens, you're going to find that it's not going to just open up your relationship. It's going to open up other avenues in your life as well. You're an amazing person. All you need to do is take that risk and not use words and use a little bit more action, or if you're going to use your words, to use a different vocabulary. So instead of saying, how can I say this? Going up to a stranger because you see them and they're wearing an amazing hat, is just to go, wow, as you walk, and not stop and go, love that hat. So it doesn't have to be a huge thing. You don't have to describe it, but it's really about expressing in a different way. So I hope that helps you. Feel free to chat back in if that was not as clear as you'd like it to be. In the meantime, I would love to talk with Ashley in Washington. Ashley, you there?
Can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thanks. I'm always happy when I'm doing the radio show. I mean, I get to talk to people like you.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
It's like a dream come true. I mean, no joke.
Yeah, I bet.
So, how can I help you today?
Well, I tend to pick all the wrong guys in relationships.
You're hilarious.
And just recently I went through a really bad one, a bad breakup. And I just feel kind of lost lately, more than usual.
Uh-huh. I can see why.
What's that?
I said I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Let me talk about two things, all right, for you.
Okay.
One is that don't take this the wrong way. You're super cute. And when I say that, I don't mean it as light, like, little 5-year-olds are cute. You're super cute in the way that you bring about things energetically, is that it's really approachable, really sweet, has a little bit of spunk to it, and no bite. Okay, that's not a bad thing. And because trust me, when you bite, right? Does that make sense when I say that?
Yeah.
Because you can talk a good one, right? Get a little stingy, but mostly you're really cute, and so you're going. So the one thing about the cute is that for you is that you can only take yourself. I won't say you can. You have only taken yourself so seriously because of the cute factor. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that you automatically assess and go, he's out of my league, definitely not. Maybe when I have my crap together on this one. And then you're already self-editing instead of just being you. Okay? So that's the first thing. So in a weird way, and the reason I say it's weird is because you're the one that's doing the editing. In the weird way, you're the one that's closing down your funnel of who's available to you and who's not. And it's just because of the way that you view yourself. Now, I'm not saying take yourself more seriously. All I'm saying is take yourself bigger. Make yourself bigger. And what that means is there's a whole lot that happens in cute. There's a lot of seriousness that happens in cute. And because you're approachable, you can tell great truths and it doesn't hurt. So take it to that level. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, that's really important because that's what's going to. It's not that you're not attracting the men that you want. It's you're editing them out. It's crazy. It's almost as if you're not going to buy that. Let's see, what's my favorite? I love Tahari suits. Like I love Tahari suits, but I only buy them when they're on sale. It's the same thing for you. It's like I love this great guy, but only when he starts, dumbing it down am I going to go talk to him. Do you see what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he's not suited for you. The second thing is that you're in what I like to call a washing machine year. And a washing machine year is that you got a lot of stuff going around you that you can't control anyway. So it's like sitting in a tilt-a-whirl. You might as well just hold on to the sides and relax because you're going to be churning around no matter what. Okay, and it is a washing machine cycle. The universe is helping you wash out all these really old thoughts and ideas that you've had since you were, youngster, preteen, that no longer serve you, but sit in your energy area. So those two things are happening. One you can control, right, which is your cute factor, and the other one you cannot. All right. So in one way, it's time to seriously relax and just go, wow, all this stuff is happening around me. I'm just going to kind of write it out and see what happens. And then on the other side is when you decide to go out and do things and be with your friends or however you want, be out in public, really make a statement. And if that statement is cute, then take that cute to the level like it's nobody's business because you have big energy, you have big personality, you're the one that's been editing. So challenge yourself. Go to that place that you're like, no, only really rich people go there. Screw them. Go over there. Who cares?
Yeah.
You're fantastic. Just go out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and while you're at it, wear something a little bit different so you can be sassy at the same time. And trust me, there are people who are looking at you, but you're not looking in their direction, so they just admire from afar.
That's the thing. I never get approached, and I never really understood it. It's usually me approaching the ones that I've dated.
So why aren't you approaching that really, really hot guy that has a lot of money and his crap together?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I totally understand, though. I know that I do it. I guess it's just hard to get over that self-esteem part. That's what I'm trying to work on right now.
Well, let me tell you, you're talking about a habit that's let's see, you're 32, right? So you're talking about a habit that's 20 years old. It's been your best friend for 2 decades, right? That's the way that you found your place in your friend group, right? So that other people could have the bigger personalities and you just kind of slide in with your personality. So you're talking about a 20-year-old habit. And your friends have changed, right? And your ideas have changed. And now it's just your habit that needs to change. So the thing that I'm saying is I do martial arts. I'm 5'4". I'm shrinking, I think. And then what happens and I'm overweight and I'm 49. So the thing that's really funny is that I love to go up against the big guys because if you go up against the big guys, then in my mind, I can handle anybody. Do you see what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter what the big guys think of me. It's about how do I think about myself when I'm up against the big guys. Same thing with you. Go get that big guy. And who cares if he rejects you? He's not gonna, but who cares if he does? You're just out being sassy anyway. So go be sassy. And go be sassy with someone else. You want to play with the people who want to play with you.
Yep.
All right? So go play. That's the other thing. You're not playing. You take this thing so dang seriously.
I know.
Go have fun. Go have fun. And you know what this is a secret. I'm not going to tell, it's just between you and me. But when I was single and younger, and I was feeling kind of in the same way as you, I had different stuff going on. Is I would take a friend that I was going to treat, and the treat meant that I was going to have her drink, and then she would be the silly one, you know what I mean, and divert and let her be the entertainment, and it made me feel better. And then because I was relaxed, I ended up talking to a bunch of people, and it's not like I was hurting her or anything. She wanted to have the attention on her, not attention, but she needed a couple drinks and she wanted to go out and blow steam anyway, so why not? So we both had a really good time.
Yeah.
Right? So Linda, Tina, all those people, I'm not talking about you, and if I really am talking about you, I apologize, which has nothing to do with you, but I just figured I might as well say that while I'm out there. But that's my recommendation. You have so much to offer and so much to give, but you're like at the 30 or 40% mark because you're still in the habit of when you're in middle school.
Mhm.
And if you can fit into your jeans from 8th grade, great. But if you can't, then it's time to, you know what I mean? It's time to step it on up anyway. And who wants to wear those 8th grade jeans anyway? Right? You have changed. Your shape has changed. You have changed. You don't need that. You don't need that thought process anymore. All right?
Thank you so much. I needed to hear all this.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. It was so fun talking with you. And you are my last caller. We're at the end of the show.
Alrighty.
So, I know. Thank you so much. I want to thank you for calling. I want to thank the other people for calling. Connecticut, San Diego, thank you so much for calling. I want to thank Tana, as always, and Angel Heart for you for having this amazing radio station. Happy Monday. Have an amazing, amazing week. We have Linda Grindell coming up on Tuesday, Sarah coming up on Wednesday, and Miranda, who's going to be right before me on Friday afternoon. You can catch me on my Facebook page or at moderndaymystic.com, and you're more than welcome to give me a call. Thank you so much for everything, and I look forward to talking to you all on Friday. Many blessings and so much gratitude. Bye.